Some deaths in Hollywood hit harder than others. But when it's about black actors, it leaves deep scars on fans, with tragedies that cut dreams short and silence voices too soon. Today, we remember 15 stunning losses that shook the world of film, TV, and culture. 1. Chadwick Boseman.
Justice will come soon enough.
Tell that to the dead.
The living are not done with you yet.
Chadwick Boseman was more than just an actor. He was a cultural icon whose roles carried extraordinary meaning. Born November 29, 1976, in Anderson, South Carolina. Chadwick Boseman's death was one of those moments where our world seemed to stop. After studying directing at Howard University and later training at the British American Drama Academy in Oxford, Boseman brought an artistry and intelligence to his work that made his characters timeless. His breakout came with 42, where he embodied baseball legend Jackie Robinson. He brought both quiet dignity and simmering fire to the role, showing an athlete who faced unthinkable racism, yet held his head high. But his most influential role came as King T'Challa in Black Panther. For millions around the world, Chadwick Boseman became the face of a new era, a superhero who embodied African excellence, strength, and tradition. Fans were shocked to learn he had been silently battling colon cancer since 2016. In that time, he filmed physically demanding movies while enduring surgeries and chemotherapy, never letting the illness define his work or public presence. On August 28, 2020, at the age of 43, Boseman passed away at home, surrounded by loved ones.
Actor Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43 following a private 4-year battle with colon cancer. Boseman inspiring millions with his roles, making 7 movies while quietly undergoing surgeries and chemotherapy treatments.
The shock was profound because the world had seen no visible sign of his suffering. His death was stunning, not just for its suddenness, but because he represented hope, pride, and possibility. Boseman left behind a legacy bigger than Hollywood. He gave a generation of black audiences a superhero who looked like them, and in doing so, forever changed cinema. 2. Michael K. Williams.
I got time to shoot.
What's in there?
Turn around.
I ain't kill your son, man.
Turn around. Fuck you want, man?
Michael K. Williams had a gift few actors ever achieve: the ability to blend menace with vulnerability so seamlessly that you could never look away. Born November 22, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York, Williams grew up facing adversity, but found salvation in the arts. His distinct facial scar, the result of a street fight in his 20s, only enhanced his screen presence, giving his characters a sense of realism. Williams gained international recognition for his role as Omar Little on HBO's The Wire. Omar, the shotgun-toting stick-up man who robbed drug dealers, became one of television's most complex anti-heroes. What made the performance unforgettable was Williams's ability to inject humanity into Omar, a man who whistled nursery rhymes while striking fear into criminals, yet lived by a code of honor. Later, as Chalky White in Boardwalk Empire, he brought gravity to the role of a black leader navigating race, power, and survival during Prohibition. Beyond those, his work in projects like When They See Us and Lovecraft Country showed his range and continued commitment to telling important black stories. But Williams also carried his own personal struggles.
One of Hollywood's most versatile actors has died.
Michael K. Williams, who is best known for his role in HBO's The Wire, was found dead today in his home.
Tell him. Said, tell Omar he put his hand in the wrong pocket.
And you need to know, my little dog, let you go easy.
I'ma work them.
Tragically, on September 6, 2021, he was found dead in his Brooklyn apartment from an accidental drug overdose. He was just 54. The loss shocked Hollywood and fans worldwide because Michael K. Williams was seen as a guiding light, not just as an actor, but as a mentor to countless young performers. His death was heartbreaking because he seemed to be a man on the verge of a new creative chapter. Instead, his story ended too soon, leaving behind unforgettable performances that continue to inspire. 3. Richard Roundtree.
Hey, where the hell you going, Shaft?
To get laid. Where the hell you going?
Richard Roundtree was more than just an actor. He was a trailblazer whose career opened doors for generations. Born July 9, 1942, in New Rochelle, New York, he started out as a model before landing the role that would change cinema forever: Private Detective John Shaft. When Gordon Parks' Shaft premiered in 1971, Roundtree redefined what it meant to be a leading man. He was suave, fearless, and undeniably cool, embodying a character that stood up to authority with swagger and confidence. At a time when Hollywood rarely let black actors lead major films, Roundtree became the face of a movement, ushering in the era of blaxploitation cinema. The Shaft films weren't just action thrillers, they were cultural milestones. He appeared in Roots as Sam Bennett, one of television's most groundbreaking miniseries, and continued to act in films and TV series well into his 70s. Later roles in shows like Being Mary Jane and the 2019 Shaft sequel proved that his charm never faded. Despite his tough screen persona, Roundtree battled personal struggles, including breast cancer, a diagnosis he bravely spoke about to raise awareness for men facing the disease.
Some sad news now from the entertainment world. Actor Richard Roundtree has died.
Get off my back, huh? I just want to talk to you. Call me up. You know my number.
Roundtree was best known as the private detective in the 1971 movie Shaft.
On October 24, 2023, Richard Roundtree passed away from pancreatic cancer at the age of 81. His death was met with shock and sorrow across Hollywood because he wasn't just an actor, he was a symbol of progress. Roundtree's stunning loss felt like the closing of a chapter in black cinema, but his influence remains in every black leading man who followed in his footsteps. 4. Roger E. Mosley.
Might confuse him.
Yeah, well, don't let it worry you, brother.
When I see an influential black dude trying to turn brothers on a job ass white handouts, I worry, brother. Sam Seals is bad news.
Well, I'm trying to do something for the community. Now, I figure that food helped those men. You got some help to offer?
Roger E. Mosley was a beloved figure in television, known for bringing warmth and integrity to every role he played. Born December 18, 1938, in Los Angeles, Mosley began his acting career in the 1970s, appearing in films like Hitman and Leadbelly, but he achieved widespread fame as Theodore T.C. in the hit series Magnum P.I., running from 1980 to 1988. Mosley's character was more than just a sidekick. He was a helicopter pilot, business owner, and loyal friend, portrayed with humor and depth. Unlike many black characters on TV at the time, TC was respected, competent, and three-dimensional. Off-screen, Mosley was admired for staying grounded, often mentoring young people and avoiding the pitfalls of fame. He was a family man who rarely sought the spotlight outside of his craft. Tragedy struck in August 2022 when Mosley was involved in a severe car accident that left him paralyzed. Only days later, he passed away at the age of 83.
Actor Roger E. Mosley has died. The Watts native was best known for his role in the 1980s detective series Magnum P.I.
Fans were stunned by the suddenness of his decline, especially given how strong and vibrant his public image remained. His passing reminded audiences that behind the characters we see on screen are fragile human lives. Roger E. Mosley's death was stunning not only for the circumstances, but because he represented an entire generation of television actors who broke barriers. His work endures as proof that representation matters and that a character like TC could inspire viewers to dream bigger than the roles society once allowed. 5. Lee Thompson Young.
Blame him for everything. Your father had his chance and he blew it.
You don't even know him anymore.
Oh no, I know him. You don't know him.
Fine, fine.
Don't you walk out of this house.
Or else what? Well, you gonna go through my stuff? You gonna invade my privacy? You know what? Dad might have done some stuff in the past or whatever, but at least he respects me.
Lee Thompson Young was a child star who seemed destined for greatness, making his death all the more shocking. Born February 1st, 1984, in Columbia, South Carolina, Young first captured attention as the lead in Disney Channel's The Famous Jet Jackson. The show, which ran from 1998 to 2001, featured Young as a teen balancing school with his secret life as a TV action hero, a concept that gave kids a positive, relatable black role model. His natural charisma and maturity made him stand out among young performers. As he grew older, Young avoided the pitfalls of many child actors. He transitioned into adult roles with ease, appearing in projects like Friday Night Lights, Smallville, and eventually as Detective Barry Frost on Rizzoli and Isles. His performances were marked by sincerity, intelligence, and a quiet depth that made audiences connect instantly. But behind the success, Young struggled privately with bipolar disorder.
The Los Angeles Police Department confirming actor Lee Thompson Young was found dead in Los Angeles just a couple of hours ago. The cause of death not clear.
On August 19, 2013, he died by suicide in Los Angeles at only 29 years old. The news was devastating, not just because of his youth, but because he had seemed to embody stability and hope for other young actors. Fans and colleagues were left stunned, grappling with the reminder that mental health struggles can remain invisible even in those who appear outwardly composed. His death sparked conversations about mental health awareness in Hollywood, particularly for young black men. 6. Chance Perdomo.
Andre?
Chance Perdomo was a rising star whose sudden death stunned fans and the entertainment industry alike. Born October 19, 1996, in Los Angeles, but raised in Southampton, England, Perdomo carried a unique blend of American and British charm. His early breakout role came in the BBC drama Killed by My Debt, where he tackled tough social issues with maturity far beyond his years. But it was Netflix's Chilling Adventures of Sabrina that made him a household name. As Ambrose Spellman, Sabrina's witty, eccentric warlock cousin, he captivated audiences with his charisma and depth, giving the show much of its dark humor and heart. Following that success, Perdomo joined the cast of Gen V, the spin-off of The Boys. Playing Andre Anderson, a young superhero with magnetic powers and heavy family expectations, he proved himself ready for the next level of stardom. Fans praised his layered performance, which blended vulnerability with power.
British-American actor Chance Perdomo has been killed in a motorcycle accident. The 27-year-old, who grew up in Southampton, was best known for starring in the Netflix horror series Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Tragically, on March 30th, 2024, Chance Perdomo died in a motorcycle accident at the age of just 27. Reports confirmed that the actor had been riding recreationally, something he loved when the fatal crash occurred. His sudden passing was met with shock from colleagues and audiences, many of whom felt robbed of witnessing a career that was only beginning to bloom. The entertainment world mourned a young man who carried not only talent, but also kindness and generosity off-screen. His death was particularly heartbreaking because he represented the future generation of new black actors stepping into lead roles in blockbuster franchises. Chance Perdomo's story is remembered as both inspiring and tragic, a reminder of how fragile life is, even for those seemingly destined for greatness.
Duh. Ain't no shame in setting this one elbow for her.
No, sir. I'm ready.
Moses J. Mosley was an actor whose face may not have been instantly recognizable. Yet his role became one of the most iconic images of television horror. Born in 1990, Mosley worked as a model and actor, but found his biggest break on AMC's The Walking Dead. As one of Michonne's chained, armless pet zombies, he created a haunting and unforgettable presence. Though he didn't speak in that role, his image was seared into pop culture, symbolizing both Michonne's trauma and her resilience. Beyond The Walking Dead, Mosley appeared in shows like Queen of the South and Watchmen, and he built a loyal following at fan conventions. Those who met him consistently spoke of his warmth, humility, and enthusiasm for connecting with fans.
Walking Dead actor has died under mysterious circumstances. Actor Moses Mosley is best known for his role as a zombie in the TV show The Walking Dead. He portrayed a member of the undead who followed the character Michonne. Mosley's, now I don't watch Walking Dead. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologize for that. Michonne, my producer tells me. Mosley's body was discovered after worried family members contacted OnStar. The company tracked his vehicle to Stockbridge.
In January 2022, tragedy struck when Mosley was found dead in Georgia at the age of 31 from a gunshot wound. Authorities reported that the circumstances of his death were unclear, and the news shocked both fans and colleagues. Many had just seen him appearing at events, full of life and energy, making his sudden passing even more difficult to comprehend. For fans of The Walking Dead, the loss was deeply felt because his character had become such a memorable symbol of the series. His death was stunning, not only for its mystery, but also because it cut short the career of a young man who had only just begun to find his footing in Hollywood. Moses J. Mosley will forever be remembered as the silent yet powerful figure who left a lasting mark on one of television's most influential series. 8. Aaliyah.
You know the shoddy work. You know that's not my style.
I'm sorry, man. Poor baby, if I got you all wrong.
You don't have a clue to what I'm about.
I don't know. Why'd you tell me?
Well, for starters, you gotta just be past the facade.
Facade. Well, you got some serious facade going on back there.
Aaliyah Dana Houghton was more than a singer. She was a rising actress who was about to dominate Hollywood when tragedy struck. Born January 16, 1979, in Brooklyn and raised in Detroit, Aaliyah's career began as a teen with her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. By her second album, One in a Million, produced with Timbaland and Missy Elliott, she had revolutionized R&B with futuristic beats and smooth vocals. But Aaliyah wasn't just about music. She stepped into acting with a natural grace, starring alongside Jet Li in Romeo Must Die, 2000. Her performance was praised for its poise and confidence, proving she had the chops to transition from music to the big screen. She also starred in Queen of the Damned, 2002, a role that showcased her darker, mysterious side, and had already been cast in the Matrix sequels before her death.
As a breaking story out of the Bahamas tonight, authorities have confirmed that R&B singer and actress Aaliyah is among 8 people killed in a plane crash.
On August 25, 2001, Aaliyah died in a plane crash in the Bahamas after filming the music video for Rock the Boat. She was only 22 years old. Reports later revealed the plane was overloaded and the pilot was unlicensed. The loss stunned the world, as Aaliyah was considered the future of both music and film. Her style, voice, and screen presence inspired a generation, and her death froze her career mid-rise. Fans mourned not only what she had already achieved, but also the countless possibilities of what could have been. Aaliyah remains a cultural icon, remembered as a pioneer whose life ended far too soon, leaving behind the haunting question of just how much higher she might have soared. 9. Tupac Shakur.
Look, just because a motherfucker is born into your family don't mean you stay family, all right? That motherfucker ain't shit. He don't care about me, you, nothing. Okay?
Tupac Amaru Shakur was more than a rapper. He was a poet, activist, and actor whose life ended in one of the most shocking murders in entertainment history. Born June 16, 1971, in New York City, Tupac grew up around Black Panther activism and infused his art with a deep social conscience. He burst onto the music scene with Tupacalypse Now and quickly became a voice for young Black America, addressing police brutality, poverty, and inequality. But Tupac was also a gifted actor. He starred in Juice, 1992, as Bishop, a role that showcased his raw intensity and acting talent. He followed with Poetic Justice, 1993, opposite Janet Jackson, revealing his softer, romantic side, and Above the Rim, 1994, cementing his reputation as a versatile performer. Tupac was well on his way to building a dual career as both a rapper and actor when tragedy struck.
Near fatal shooting, but he couldn't survive a second. Rap star Tupac Shakur died last night after a brief life in a rough business. He was 25. Here's NBC's Stan Bernard.
On September 7, 1996, after attending a Mike Tyson fight in Las Vegas, Tupac was shot 4 times in a drive-by shooting while riding in a car with Death Row Records CEO Jak Knight. He died 6 days later, on September 13th, at just 25 years old. His murder shocked the world and remains one of hip-hop's greatest mysteries. The stunning nature of his death wasn't just the violence, but the loss of someone whose influence extended far beyond music. Tupac had a vision of leadership, social activism, and artistry that was cut brutally short. His legacy endures in his lyrics, his films, and in the cultural conversations he helped ignite. 10. Whitney Houston.
Only you knew how much I do love you.
Whitney Houston was a once-in-a-generation voice who also proved herself as a screen star, making her death one of the most heartbreaking losses of modern times. Born August 9, 1963, in Newark, New Jersey, Whitney came from a musical family. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was a gospel singer, and her cousin was Dionne Warwick. Whitney's 1985 self-titled debut album launched her into superstardom with hits like How Will I Know and Greatest Love of All. She became one of the best-selling female artists of all time, her soaring voice unmatched in power and clarity. But Whitney also had a magnetic screen presence. In 1992, she starred in The Bodyguard, opposite Kevin Costner. The film was a massive success, and her rendition of I Will Always Love You became one of the best-selling singles in history. She followed with Waiting to Exhale, 1995, and The Preacher's Wife, 1996, both of which cemented her acting abilities. Sadly, behind the glamour, Whitney struggled with substance abuse and a turbulent marriage to Bobby Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Adam May. Whitney Houston was found dead inside a Beverly Hills hotel. Her sudden death has shocked the entire world.
On February 11, 2012, she was found unresponsive in the bathtub of her Beverly Hills hotel room. She was just 48 years old. The coroner's report cited accidental drowning, with heart disease and cocaine use as contributing factors. The world was stunned because Whitney had recently been working on a comeback and appeared to be reclaiming her career. Her death served as a tragic reminder of the pressures of fame and the destructive power of addiction. Yet her voice, her music, and her film roles remain immortal, continuing to inspire new generations of artists and fans alike. 11. DMX Simmons was more than a rapper. He was a cultural force whose acting career showed he was just as compelling on screen as on stage. Born December 18, 1970, in Mount Vernon, New York, and raised in Yonkers, DMX's life was marked by hardship, which fueled his raw, emotional music. With his debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, 1998, he became a hip-hop superstar, known for hits like Rough Riders Anthem and Party Up. But DMX also transitioned into acting with surprising ease. In Belly, 1998, directed by Hype Williams, his intensity was electric. He later starred in Romeo Must Die, 2000, alongside Jet Li and Aaliyah, and Exit Wounds, 2001, with Steven Seagal, carving out a space as an action star who brought authenticity to every role. Behind the fame, DMX battled substance abuse for much of his life, openly discussing his struggles in interviews and even in his music.
Start with some breaking news now. American rapper and actor Earl Simmons, known by the stage name DMX or Dark Man X, has died at age 50. According to People magazine, the musician was hospitalized for what reports said was a heart attack during a drug overdose.
On April 9, 2021, DMX died at the age of 50 after suffering a heart attack, reportedly triggered by a drug overdose. The news devastated fans worldwide, many of whom had grown up with his music and admired his honesty about his demons. His death was shocking because DMX had been seen as larger than life, a man whose gravelly voice, bark-like ad-libs, and ferocious performances felt unstoppable. The loss also highlighted the unrelenting toll of addiction, even on someone so loved and celebrated. As both a rapper and actor, DMX left behind a legacy of raw emotion and powerful storytelling. 12. Lloyd Avery II.
Nigga, don't be trying to shake. Get your ass in the car.
Look, man, I'm not bailing. Come, I just don't want nobody to die.
Is he kidding me? Are you kidding me? That motherfucker took flicks of us shooting cops. He knew the rules and he fucked up. You wanna rot in jail, nigga, for the rest of your life over some bullshit? Cause I know I don't.
Of course.
His story is the most haunting example of art imitating life in tragic ways. Born June 21, 1969, in Los Angeles, California, Avery grew up in a comfortable middle-class neighborhood, but found his way into acting in the early 1990s. His big break came in John Singleton's Boys in the Hood, 1991, where he played one of the gunmen responsible for the heartbreaking murder of Ricky, a role that left audiences shaken. The character was unforgettable, and Avery's cold, menacing screen presence suggested he had the makings of a promising career. He went on to appear in Poetic Justice, 1993, alongside Janet Jackson and Tupac Shakur, building a reputation for playing tough, street-smart characters. But tragically, Avery's off-screen life began to mirror his on-screen roles. In 2001, he was convicted of double murder and sentenced to life in prison. Fans were stunned by the news, unable to reconcile the actor they had admired with the crimes he committed.
In art, a kid from an affluent LA suburb who becomes a convicted murderer at one of the most dangerous prisons in the US, and himself becoming a victim of murder in a gruesome satanic ritual performed by his own.
His tragic story took an even darker turn on September 4, 2005, when Avery was found dead in his cell at Pelican Bay State Prison. He had been beaten and strangled by his cellmate during what was later described as a racially motivated attack. He was just 36 years old. The stunning nature of his death lay not only in its violence, but in the sense of wasted potential. Avery had shown early flashes of real talent, and his career could have gone in any direction. Instead, his life became a cautionary tale of choices and consequences, and his death remains one of the most shocking in Hollywood's history. 13. Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac had the rare gift of making people laugh simply by walking into a room. Born Bernard Jeffrey McCullough on October 5, 1957, in Chicago, Illinois, Bernie rose from stand-up clubs to nationwide fame with his sharp wit and unique comedic style. He became a breakout star on HBO's Def Comedy Jam, where his confident delivery and trademark catchphrase, "I ain't scared of you," brought audiences to their feet. His career skyrocketed with films like The Original Kings of Comedy, 2000, and his role in the Ocean's 11 franchise, where his comedic timing made him a standout even among Hollywood heavyweights. Bernie also created The Bernie Mac Show, 2001-2006, a sitcom loosely based on his real life, which won multiple awards and cemented him as one of America's favorite TV dads. Behind the jokes, Bernie Mac battled sarcoidosis, a chronic inflammatory disease that attacked his lungs.
Hollywood mourning the loss of comedian and actor Bernie Mac. The 50-year-old funny man died Saturday at a Chicago hospital.
Bernie Mac. On August 9, 2008, at just 50 years old, Bernie died from complications of pneumonia linked to his illness. The news was a shock to fans because Bernie had been performing, filming, and cracking jokes right up until his health suddenly declined. His death left a massive void in comedy and entertainment. What made his loss especially stunning was how young he was and how much more he had left to give. Bernie Mac's humor was bold, unapologetic, and deeply rooted in his Chicago upbringing, making him relatable to millions. His untimely death cut short a career that was still evolving, leaving behind a legacy of laughter, resilience, and truth-telling comedy that continues to inspire comedians today. 14. Michael Clarke Duncan. Michael Clarke Duncan was a gentle giant of cinema whose towering presence masked a tender heart. Born for 300 pounds, he initially landed bodyguard work for stars like Will Smith and Jamie Foxx. But once Hollywood saw his talent, his career took off. After smaller roles in Armageddon, 1998, and Bulworth, 1998, Duncan earned international acclaim in The Green Mile, 1999. As John Coffey, a death row inmate with supernatural healing powers, Duncan delivered a heartbreaking, Oscar-nominated performance that left audiences in tears. His ability to blend vulnerability with his physical stature made the role unforgettable. He went on to star in films like The Whole Nine Yards, Planet of the Apes, 2001, Daredevil, 2003, and even lent his booming voice to animated characters.
The actor known as the Gentle Giant is gone. Michael Clarke Duncan is best known for his role in The Green Mile.
He died yesterday after nearly 2 months of treatment following a heart attack.
In July 2012, Duncan suffered a massive heart attack. Despite initial recovery, he died on September 3, 2012, at the age of 54, due to complications. The news shocked Hollywood, as Duncan was known for his positive energy, health-conscious lifestyle, and generosity. His death was especially stunning because he seemed invincible, his physique symbolizing strength and endurance. Friends and co-stars remembered him as one of the kindest people in the business, someone who lit up every room he entered. His loss left fans and colleagues heartbroken at what more he might have achieved. 15. Jak Knight.
It was great, man. I don't even like Black History Month. I don't think we should just be a part of the culture. You shouldn't just subsection us off to this little part where we get to. And I didn't get shit in the mail. Right? I didn't even get anything. What? At best, in Black History Month, everyone in school has to read Langston Hughes poems. Google's homepage uses black people as the letters.
Jak Knight was a fast-rising comedian and actor whose death came as a devastating shock. Born March 8, 1993, in Seattle, Washington, Knight had an energy and wit that made him stand out early in his career. He cut his teeth in stand-up clubs before breaking into television, working as a writer on hit shows like Blackish, Big Mouth, and The Eric Andre Show. On Big Mouth, he also voiced the character Devin, showcasing his comedic timing and creativity. In 22, Knight co-created and starred in the Peacock comedy series Bust Down, alongside friends and fellow comedians. His performance revealed not only his comedic chops, but also his potential as a leading actor. Knight's humor was fearless, often tackling uncomfortable truths with a smile that made his honesty easier to digest. Audiences loved him for his sharp observations. On July 14, 2022, tragedy struck when Jak Knight died by suicide at just 28 years old. Fans and fellow comedians showed deep sorrow and grief at his sudden demise. The news stunned the comedy world, as he had been in the middle of building what looked to be an incredible career. Remembering him not only for his immense talent, but also for his kindness and generosity offstage. His death was a sobering reminder of the mental health challenges that even the funniest among us may silently endure. Jak Knight's loss was particularly stunning because he represented the next wave of comedic and acting talent and beautiful performance. His absence left a gap that cannot be filled.